If you're a serious English learner, hold on to your seat because I've got some breaking news. Breaking news. Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Jay. Welcome back to the channel. It's time to improve your English, and I am going to accomplish that by reading through an English article at a moderate pace and explaining key vocabulary words and phrases. Make sure you're paying attention. I have about 6 quiz questions, and I will give you the answers at the end of today's lesson. So if you're ready for some learning and some laughter, let's dive into today's lesson. According to Yahoo Finance, Alphabet and SpaceX reportedly discuss launching data centers into orbit. So we're going to learn some financial terms today. Alphabet is the parent company of Google, okay? So Alphabet. All right, data centers. Okay, we'll talk about that today. So a data center is simply a facility that is large, that houses thousands of computers and servers and storage systems to help run AI and cloud services. So they are becoming very, very popular in our modern time, okay? SpaceX is the aero system owned by Elon Musk. So let's dive in. Alphabet, Google's parent company, is reportedly in talks with SpaceX about launching orbital data centers into space. So orbital, having to do with outer space, up in the heavens, okay? So they want to put data centers in the outer galaxy. That's amazing. I wonder if that will happen in our lifetime. The proposed partnership, two or more companies that are working together to accomplish a goal, a partnership, would combine Google's artificial system, Google's artificial intelligence systems with SpaceX rocket technology to support future computing projects. All right. So you have Google and SpaceX coming together to accomplish a goal of getting data centers in space. The discussions are connected to Google's project Suncatcher, an effort focused on building solar-powered satellites capable of processing data in orbit. Okay, so they're not going to put physical data centers, but according to this article, they're going to have solar-powered satellites or sun-powered satellites that process the data in space. Google hopes the technology could reduce pressure on Earth-based data centers, which require massive amounts of electricity and cooling systems. And you're hearing about, at least I have heard about, communities being upset that data centers are being built in their communities because it drives up electric bills, okay? Experts say the idea may sound futuristic. Say that with me. Futuristic, having to do with something being done in the future. But companies are becoming increasingly ambitious as demand for AI computing continues to grow. Here's a picture of Elon Musk. And notice companies are becoming ambitious, okay? So when someone or a group of people or a company is ambitious, say that with me, ambitious. It's an adjective. It describes a person. It says that they have very large goals or plans, okay? Very ambitious. She started an ambitious plan to open her own business, okay? So when you are ambitious, you have big dreams, okay? You want to do big things. And it's more than just a dream. You have a plan to conquer the world. That would be very ambitious. For me to say I want to reach 20 million English students, that would be very ambitious. I've gotten to a point in my life where I am just content on whatever state I am in. Though I have goals, I don't want to be overly ambitious, okay? And AI is a great demand. I think I'll talk about that on a podcast episode. Space-based systems could eventually help solve energy and infrastructure limitations facing the tech industry, okay? So when we talk about infrastructure, that's a great intermediate word that I have dealt with before. Infrastructure has to do with systems and structures needed to operate. So you might say the city needs better infrastructure for traffic problems. Especially here in the city of Atlanta. Oh my goodness, traffic is horrendous or awful, bad, terrible. Supporters believe orbital computing. Let me start over. Supporters believe orbital computing could create more efficient way to process enormous amounts of information, especially as AI tools become more advanced, okay? Now, when something is efficient, it describes something that is working well, okay, without wasting time or energy. Very efficient. Working from home helped him become more efficient, more productive, more impactful, okay? Let's look at one more sentence before I give you a quiz, all right? However, critics warn that the technology remains highly experimental and extremely expensive. So it's going to cost a lot of money. And right now, when something is experimental, it's going through a lot of tests. Experimental, okay? Still being tested or fully proven, all right? Experimental. So you might say the doctor recommended an experimental treatment. So in other words, they don't know if a drug they were going to give someone would work. So they have experimental tests to see if the drug is efficient or quality or able to achieve what they desire, okay? Let's look at a quiz. I have 3 options for you. Experimental, ambitious, and efficient are your choices. Use the comment section down below for your answers. Number 1, she created an blank plan to grow her company. Number 2, the new system is more blank than the old one. And number 3, scientists are testing an blank treatment, okay? So, ambitious, efficient, and experimental. If I've done a good job, you should be able to grasp and answer these correctly, okay? Let's dive back in for the second half. We're almost done. I am moving along today. The talks also reflect a growing collaboration. Collaboration. Remember I talked about partnership earlier? Okay? People working together. Well, when there is a collab, that's a short term, or collaboration, okay? It's when people or companies work together. The project, you might say, was a collaboration between two friends, all right? So collaboration, all right? The talks also reflect a growing collaboration between major technology major technology companies that were once seen mainly as competitors. So now these companies are working together. Analysts say the project could become a major innovation if the technology proves successful. So if they can get these satellites up and going in space, it would be a great invention. It would be innovative, okay? So when we talk about innovation, innovation has to do with a new idea, a new way of doing things, a new method. So you might say smartphones were a major innovation in communication. Okay, AI tools are a great innovation for different things such as research or learning. Okay, innovation. Who would have ever thought AI would become a thing? Artificial intelligence, that used to be something we would only hear about in the movies. For now, both companies appear to be exploring possibilities. When you explore something, you are researching, trying to discover, you're looking into things, exploring possibilities rather than confirming a final agreement. So before they say something is set in stone, as we would say, something is permanent, they are researching and seeing what is possible. The investment and the tech world are watching with anticipation. So what this simply means is it's a lot of testing and research that must be done, a lot of money that must be spent. And so people are excited about what the future may hold. All right, so I've given you about 15 new vocabulary words, if I'm counting correctly. Let's read back through today's article at a faster pace without stopping. This will test your comprehension. This will also challenge your English reading skills, but will also give you an opportunity to listen and comprehend, okay? Then we'll give you the final quiz for today. All right, let's dive back in. Alphabet, Google's parent company, is reportedly in talks with SpaceX about launching orbital data centers into space. The proposed partnership would combine Google's artificial intelligence systems with SpaceX rocket technology to support future computing projects. The discussions are connected to Google's Project Suncatcher, an effort focused on building solar-powered satellites capable of processing data in orbit. Google hopes the technology could reduce pressure on Earth-based data centers, which require massive amounts of electricity and cooling systems. Experts say the idea may sound futuristic, but companies are becoming increasingly ambitious as demand for AI computing continues to grow. Space-based systems could eventually help solve energy and infrastructure limitations facing the tech industry. Supporters believe orbital computing could create a more efficient way to process enormous amounts of information, especially as AI tools become more advanced. However, critics warn that the technology remains highly experimental and extremely expensive. The talks also reflect a growing collaboration between major technology companies that were once seen mainly as competitors. Analysts say the project could become a major innovation if the technology proves successful. For now, both companies appear to be exploring possibilities rather than confirming a final agreement. The investment and tech world are watching with anticipation. What a great article. I enjoy reading about technology. I think I'll do more technology and financial articles in the near future. Let me know if you like that idea down in the comment section. Okay, let's look at our last quiz. I have 3 more options for you. Let's see if you can get these correct. Innovation, collaboration, and infrastructure are your options. Number 1. The business deal was a blank between 2 companies. Number 2, the internet was a major blank. And number 3, the city needs stronger blank to support growth. All right, that's going to do it for today's English lesson. Oh my goodness, I moved along very quickly. I am going to show you the answers in just a moment, but I want you to remember, especially my new subscribers and first-time watchers, take 2 words that you learned today, write them down, take a screenshot, and make sure you use them in a sentence within the next week. If you are an intermediate or advanced level, take 4 or 5 words and make sure you practice those. Make sure you watch today's lesson twice, once with the subtitles on and once with the subtitles off. If this is your first time watching, you better go down in the comments section and let me know where you're watching from. That would be so wonderful. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe and like. Oh my goodness. And if you know someone trying to improve their English, please share today's lesson with them. With that being said, here are today's answers for our 6 quiz questions. Check your work. I'm sure you will do well because you had such a good teacher. Well, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you get some rest so you can join me on my next English lesson. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.